It actually is a dome. I like that.
So how have you all been doing since you've been here?
Good, thank you.
I'm going to sit down.
Kyle?
Is that easier? Okay, so it's nice, really nice to be here. Some of us are here first time, some of us are returning. I'm coming back for I think the fourth. Mike? Have you been to Hamilton?
I haven't been to Hamilton, no.
No?
I've been to Toronto.
I've been to Quebec. That's it.
Doesn't count.
Does Quebec even count? Anyways, really nice to be here for the con. We're looking forward to getting into questions and answers today. It's been an incredible year for all of us with the renovation. It's been over a year in production. We've all been, those of us that don't live in Los Angeles, I've been out there 12 times from where I live. Michael, who is in Salt Lake City, the same. We've traveled all over the country, promoting, cross-promoting different shows for HGTV. It's been very successful. They've expanded the series from 4 original episodes now to 7, 8, and we're still working on it. Michael was very wise when we had meetings with the network, Discovery Network, which is the umbrella network for HGTV, and mentioned casually to the appropriate people that he's a certified diver, so am I, so is Christopher Knight, and that might be fun for a Shark Week episode. So we're trying to move it forward.
You guys know Shark Week, right? On Discovery Channel. Everybody watches Shark Week. It's actually their #1 thing. So we haven't shot it yet, but we're working on
I've suggested Taiwan.
We're working on a Shark Week show.
Anyway, there's one of the nice things too is we celebrate our 50th anniversary with the show in September, the same week that same month that the renovation show aired. So it's kind of brought together the whole history, the whole circle of who we are and what we've done, and we've been able to spend this great year together, even though we've maintained our friendships all through the years. And but collectively, we've been traveling together. Collectively, we've been appearing together on the Rachel Ray show, with Andy Cohen, with Stephen Colbert, on the Today Show 3 times. So there's been a lot of activity around it, and we hope you have some questions. I always make a little challenge. Having been in the business for 50 years, or with the show for 50 years, to try and find a question we've never been asked. So but we'll look forward to answering questions. That's what we're here is. This is kind of a more intimate chance to have an interchange of conversation and communication. And so if you could just shout it out and you have questions, we'll let it go. And if you can direct your questions, that's even better.
Barry, give me that one, and you take this one.
Okay.
Because Brad's not doing it.
Right.
Well, I just have a question about the one maybe I've never had before. Boxers briefs.
Boxers.
Okay, you win.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we're done.
It's very true.
Boxers.
True. That's very true.
Susan?
I'm on natural.
I would answer that.
Always.
You
You
went
could
fine.
just say,
get rid of that visual.
What's that? Boxers brief? What do you mean? No, why would I wear either one?
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I hit Toronto traffic.
Take a minute. To Brett. We're all friends here. We've just been saying hello. Really late evens. We're fine. You can help set it up if you want, or frame it. But we all kind of know what we're here for and what we're doing. And so please introduce yourself. And this is our host.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ward Anderson. Welcome, and thank you to you guys. I want to apologize for the Toronto traffic that I hit on the 401. So Thank you so much for
I
being
brought
here.
it from LA.
What?
I brought it from Los
Is
Angeles.
that, is that what it was? You know, like Mr. Williams said, may I call you Barry?
Yes, you may.
We all know what we're here for. What I love about the Bradys is what you all probably love about it, is that you're talking about a show and characters that have spanned several generations. You know?
Spawned is correct.
What I find so fascinating is I have a 6-year-old daughter, and a couple of days ago was walking around singing the Brady Bunch theme. 6 years old, and she was going, the Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch. And I said, I didn't even know where she had heard that or how she had found it, but it's in the public vernacular, and I think it will be forever. And I have to imagine, one of the most amazing things is looking back, 69 to 74, the original run. You know, the show wasn't ever in the top 20. It's one of those shows, and this doesn't really happen so much anymore, but it's one of those shows that became more popular after its initial run.
Yes, it did.
And I imagine that at the time, especially as young actors, you had no idea that was going to happen. I mean, when the show was canceled after its initial 117 episodes.
We didn't, but Schwartz did.
Right.
We had an idea, though, because once we got out of the, nobody cared in Los Angeles. Oh, you're in that show. But when we went on concert tour, believe it or not, and in various parts of the country, people go crazy. It was like Beatlemania. That's when we found out that we were actually popular.
Right. And it's it's a rare thing. It's only happened to, I'd say, a handful of television shows in history to have this phenomenon of not only do those original 117 episodes still continue to run in syndication. People, are discovering it every day, new generations, new kids, like I said, my daughter, but to spawn so many different versions and spin-offs and all of these things. I mean,
Want to name them?
sure.
We challenge
We
you.
have the Brady Kids animated show.
I think there's, is there 12?
Oh,
11
we'll
or
count.
12, 15?
We could count. So we have the sitcom
Animated
kicks it off,
show.
and just jump in when I leave things out. But Brady Kids, which was a cartoon show.
22 episodes.
The Brady Girls Get Married, movie
Brady-
of the week.
the
that's
Brady Bunch
called
Variety
Brady
Hour.
Brides.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
before Brady Girls Get Married, then that's a
Brady
special.
Brides.
Then it goes to series, Brady Brides.
Did you say the Variety Hour?
And Variety
The
Hour.
Variety
Variety
Hours
show?
before that, yeah.
Voted the 4th worst show in television history.
Which is why
Like
Susan
God.
why Susan wrote a book about it.
That's right, Susan does have a book from 2009 all about the Brady Bunch variety show.
Yeah, actually, the author is a man named Ted Nicholson. My friend Lisa Sutton did it. It's a coffee table book, so it's very visual. She did all that, and I wrote the sidebars and did some of the graphic art.
Available today at her booth.
Yeah, it's
Right
still
in the
available on
background.
Amazon.
I learned a lot about that show from Susan's book because I had purposely, I tried to erase it from my memory as much as possible.
I, on the other hand, was living the Johnny Bravo dream.
Of course.
Okay, so we're up to a very
Okay,
Brady
so-
Christmas.
Brady Christmas, then 3 movies.
Well, no, before that.
The
We had
Brady's.
the Brady's.
Oh, the Brady's. Oh,
when
that's
we're grown
one
up.
I tried to wash out of my
In the
brain.
90s. We're in the 90s, okay.
Yeah,
Then we had
Something.
3 movies?
3 movies, yeah.
I know
The
2.
third one went straight to TV.
Was that the one that we went to the moon
Mr.
or
Brady
something?
goes to the White House.
Yeah.
He became president or
Who produced
something.
that? No, never mind.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've never seen that, by the way.
I'd like
Anybody
to-
hit with the Mr. Brady Goes to the White House?
The Brady Bunch goes to Washington, right?
I think it's in the box set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a box set you can get that has every Brady project, I think. I think there's
Except
one thing
mine.
missing.
I produced Brady Bunch home movies for CBS.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I want to tell us. I want to go back to the original show and tell a story about regarding what you said about, our popularity, and if we knew the show wasn't a big hit when it was on Friday night, but it was a huge hit in syndication. Even when we were filming the original show, sort of our version of what you do on Facebook now, our mothers had the idea if you go out the gate in the backyard and walk down the hall behind the fence in our fake backyard, which was indoors, right? You reach a big stage door that's soundproof, and through that door is our little schoolroom and dressing room area. When we would receive fan mail, it would usually come with a little school photo that, you get, the school photo, you get a couple big ones and a bunch of little ones, wallet size, right? You're too young, you don't even know about this.
I'm 46, I hide it well.
Our mothers got the idea to take all of those photos out of all of that fan mail and put them up on the walls. No space between them. They literally wallpapered the walls of our schoolroom, dressing room, hallway with the photographs that our fans had sent us. And some would send us a picture of their goose, or their dad's airplane, or their cabin, or a family shot. But most of them were school photos from elementary school kids. And I thought that was a brilliant move on our parents' part to make us realize why we were there, what we were doing there.
Who we were affecting.
What I have found interesting about the Brady actors, the Brady kid actors yourselves, is, we go back 30 years or so. Now we talk about it a lot, but then people didn't talk about the stress or struggles of being a child actor, a child star. And, you guys really brought a lot of attention to that growing older, and this idea of, what it means to be a kid on the set and to be in show business, and then to grow up and either continue or not in show business. What was that like for you, making the transition from child star into adult actor? And what advice would you give to young actors today and to their parents, the parents of kids who want to become child actors?
I teach children. I teach acting for children and like a little filmmaking class. And I'm not honest with them because I would really say if you want to be an actor, you want to be an actor as an adult, wait till you're an adult because Hollywood eats its young. It's very, very difficult to transition from being a child actor to an adult actor. It's easier now than it was back then. I'm very, very lucky. I thought I wanted to pursue acting, so I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts because the Brady Bunch was not respected when I was young. And so, I have to make myself respectable and learn the craft. And then shortly thereafter, I realized I don't really like acting. And I was jealous of my boyfriend who went to art school, so I pursued a career in art. And the nice thing about that is that when people find out that I was an artist, it's like, oh, that's cool because that requires a talent. But otherwise, particularly the tabloids have this crazy idea that acting's the best job in the whole world. And if you're not an actor anymore, you're a failure and you're very depressed. There's so many people that get out of acting because, like me, they realize they don't like it. That's really the hard part, is that so many people assume that you must be devastated because you're not on a sitcom anymore.
Barry, you've had probably one of the best transitions, or at least outside looking in, going from kid actor to adult actor. You've had a career now for 50 years. Is a lot of that, like I said, is it outside looking in? Going back, I go, wow, Barry Williams had that great transition from kid to adult, but was it difficult for you to make that crossover?
Well, it's difficult to maintain a career in show business, period, no matter what the circumstances. Before I address that, I'd like to talk a little bit about just the challenges of having so much attention, a spotlight on you in these really, really formative years of life, 7, 8 years old, 14, 12, 13 years of age, for a sustained amount of time, at that time, it's not normal, and it is a challenge. And I think one of the reasons that we've survived this so spectacularly is because we all had our own families outside the Brady Bunch. There were no divorces among any of the parents during the time that we filmed the show. We had each other, and this is a really key element. There were 6 of us going through this unique experience, as opposed to, let's say, the courtship of Eddie's father, or let's say on the Munsters with Eddie Munster, where you have one child, or maybe 2, or Johnny Provost with Lassie. There were 6 of us, and this is a common experience, and so we are all asked to be on the publicity tours. We're all asked to show up. We're all asked, and we're sharing this with one another, and because of the nature of our characters as a family, we operated in large part as a family, including squabbles, but including sharing responsibilities, including taking care of one another and looking out for one another. And because of that, there was always that sort of protective area, that cocoon to go back to. And that has sustained us throughout our lives as things have come together. Fortunately, with all these reunions, we've had professional reasons to be together and reminisce and kind of keep these, that string tied. And this last year being
I was going to bring that up. That's one of the things that made the whole HGTV, the home renovation series so special, was that we were all together the whole time again.
Right. And being ourselves.
Right, that's very important. We're not characters in the Very Brady renovation. We're who we are. It's so obvious to me to see that chemistry, which I believe is one of the reasons that the show has maintained its popularity and is now multi-generational. That's authentic. That's real. You really can't fake that anyway. You can't write it or act it, or there's chemistry there or there's not. You can see
audiences are psychic. They can pick it up. They know it's real.
Barry, what advice would you give to young actors? I mean, you do a lot of theater and musical theater to this day. I think so many, because we live in this digital age that we do, when you talk to a lot of young people about acting, you'll hear them talk about television and film and everything, but there's an entire world of theater out there, of work and everything that many actors go back and forth. Each of you has, from the stage to the screen. What would you say to young actors and their parents today?
The thing that's worked the best for me is to understand that my career and who I am are separate things. And it's sometimes a good idea not to listen to all that really positive publicity, or believe that applause is, all has to do with exactly about who you are. So there's a perspective, and that's sometimes hard to do when there's so much attention, positive attention, but still attention coming, and sometimes you get to believing it, and that can go away. It's really based on a promotional machine and not based on who an individual is, or what those growth periods are, and what you need to go through in order to mature.
And when that goes away, the money goes away too.
Yeah.
You guys would be shocked and appalled at how little we made on the original series.
Tell them.
Yeah.
It's fame without fortune.
I came away from the entire Brady thing with five figures in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now kids,
Meaning between 10 and 100,000?
between 10,000 and 100,000.
Yeah.
Kind of right in the middle
10
there.
and 90.
Right in the middle there.
After 117 episodes.
Yeah, and isn't that crazy? And
Yeah.
now a lead character on a series would make that much
An episode.
per episode for years at a time.
Okay,
it was
now-
it was a different time.
Now that's-
I'm not sure why I wanted to make that point. Oh yeah, it's about acting. You're not cute anymore. You're 16 and your show gets canceled, the rug is pulled out from under you, and you need that strength of support to make it through things like that. You're still a child when these things happen to you, and that's something that we had, and I think that's one of the reasons that all 6 of us have made it to. What are the chances that 6 child actors from the 1970s would all be okay?
Yeah.
It's the odds are not good, but we all 6 of us made it, and there's something there that's unique.
I do want
And I
to.
think it's what Barry said. We had each other.
I want to add one thing, just so you're not feeling sorry for us. Okay, I don't. And that is that there's a big difference between wanting a job, going after a job, interviewing and auditioning for a job for a network or a studio, and having the network and the studio need you for a project that they want to do. Case in point is, those numbers are about right for all of us. For our first 5 years, we each made more money doing A Very Brady Christmas than all 5 years combined. And we spent 3 weeks working on that. So there you go.
And
Even me, and I wasn't in it. But they used a clip of me.
And if you do, thinking about the original run and there not being a lot of money there, I do want to reiterate that they will be signing autographs, and they have their own booths at the other side of the convention center where you should meet them later today. Mike, let me ask you real quick. You made the transition into behind the scenes. You did camera work and work tech, production work. Was that easier, do you think, than continuing on as an actor? Did people know you were, one of the Brady kids? They were Bobby Brady moving into that?
I saw it as a very pragmatic decision because I didn't want to be a poor actor.
Yeah.
I wanted to have make a living no matter what it was, and I saw my opportunity in the film production market where I lived, which is in Salt Lake City, which is the capital of Utah. There at the time there was a large film production machine going on, commercials, movie of the week, feature films, several TV series. I saw it as just a practical decision. Look, I know my way around a movie set. I can, if you're willing to work 13 or 14 hours a day for cheap as a PA, or you could work for the I was the greensman on Halloween 4.
Yeah.
Greensman is the person who's in. Where are the plants? There's no plants in here. The greensman is like the prop man for plants. It's one of the things you do on a movie set. And if you watch the credits on Halloween 4, it says greensman Mike Lookinland.
Did you ever want to put on the mask? Grab the knife, put on the mask?
You guys know that mask is William Shatner, right?
I was Googling that yesterday because somebody came by it, and I'm like, that looks so much like William Shatner, so I Googled it. Yes.
The producers of Halloween grabbed like a rubber mask that they had used for one of the feature films to do Shatner's special effects. Anyway, so it was a conscious decision for me to step away from acting and just have a job. And I knew my way around a movie set, and so there was no training involved. They handed me my radio, and I was off to the races. And I ended up being a camera technician, like you said, and I worked on several series. My wife worked on Touched by an Angel for 9 years.
Wow.
While I was doing another series, so we had a nanny take care of our kids, and it turned out to be a good move for me. And but about 14 years ago, ish, I decided to step completely away from the movie business, and I started my own company. We make concrete. Mm-hmm. We make decorative concrete, which is tables and bar tops and countertops and benches and
Also available at Michael's booth.
yeah. Bring a forklift.
Yeah. A little hard to carry out.
His luggage fees are astronomical when he flies.
Right. My carry-ons weigh 400 pounds.
we're going to need a bigger plane.
Speaking of our booth, just so everybody's aware, I'm headed to the airport, unfortunately, shortly, and so I think
I'll drive you.
I think in Toronto traffic, I think I'll have about another hour after this at the booth. So don't come see me before you go to lunch. Let's put it that way.
I just have one more question, and then I'm going to open it up for the audience. Is there, of all the Brady projects, and there's been, like we said, 11, 12 different spin-offs or whatever, is there one that you enjoyed more than the original
Very
series?
Brady renovation,
Absolutely.
no question.
Hands down.
Yeah.
In my entire career, I've never had more fun
Really?
doing a project. It's the
It's
best.
the one thing that doesn't have any cringe factor at all.
It's great. It has been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
And you can see that on HGTV's website. I do believe that they've got the full series there.
Website,
And
see it on
HGTV
television.
Go.
They're running it, rerunning it. It's going to go on for quite a while, but it just, it's still like current. We're doing,
Yeah.
we still have shows that we tape.
The premiere was the #1 show that Monday night, except for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, but it was also...
Which doesn't count, if
it
you
was
ask
also,
me.
It was also the most watched television show in HGTV history.
Yep.
And it also captured a new demo.
And there's a Christmas special coming up.
Christmas. Yeah.
1 out of 4 people that watched had never seen HG, and they picked up a 25 to 44 demo, which is the one that they had been looking for. And I mentioned that because, in business terms, but that, I think, speaks to the affection of the show, of the Brady show. And people are curious, somewhat curious about us, but it's because we can each relate to our own experience of seeing the show and where we were and what it represents. And we're talking about families that function. We're talking about morals that worked before and since and ongoing, but are great reminders.
Universal
about
themes.
Universal themes that are positive. And there's always a place for that, probably never any more so than now. And for us, it's, it ties that up. It's just like, well, great. It validates what we've done, and it kind of proves it to the business world as well as the entertainment world.
And if you're not making your kids watch the Brady Bunch now, you're missing out because it'll really help you with parenting.
I believe that. Absolutely.
And all 5 seasons are available on DVD at Susan's.
Start here, sir.
Tom from Toronto.
Hi, Tom.
One of my favorite episodes is the Cincinnati Kids. What was your fondest memories of being at the Cincinnati Park?
He said one of his favorite episodes was the Cincinnati Kids, and what was it like being at the amusement park?
My favorite part about it was that we were filming in an amusement park.
Yeah, we got to go on the rides and everything, but I have to admit I was a little disappointed because for some reason I was privy to information that we were supposed to go to India. And I'm this huge Beatles fan. So as a kid, I'm like, I'm going to go to India, just like the Beatles. And my 6th grade teacher at the time was from Calcutta, so she was all excited and telling me, well, when you find out where you're going to be filming, let me know, and I'll tell you where to go. And we ended up in Ohio, which I've never really gotten over. But I do have the script. It's a 3-part script called A Passage to India. So someday I'd like to do a table read.
She's been telling me that story for years, and I didn't believe her until she showed me the script.
Okay, so Kings Island, Cincinnati, I learned how to become the most unpopular person in an amusement park. And you do that by having a production team put you to the front of the line in front of everybody else in order to film, or we would try and do that, pull that one off when we had a break in filming. We'd say, well, let's go do the roller coaster. Oh, they'll put us at the front of the line, and we'd have, collectively, everyone would go,
They loved us up until then. Oh, it's the Brady Bunch. Wait, what are you doing? You're cutting in line.
The thing is, now you can just buy those cut-the-line
Yeah.
tickets at every amusement park. So you can buy your way into being hated, right?
I understand that the Brady Bunch movies from the 2000s were actually filmed in Canada.
He said the Brady Bunch movies, he heard they were filmed in Canada.
I don't know any movies that were filmed in the 2000s.
I don't think they were, actually.
Not the first one, the one that Betty Thomas directed.
And not the second one either, because I almost did a cameo in the second one. And as far as I knew, it was filmed in Los Angeles.
Are your cameos from the original one?
And Kauai. And Kauai. The second
Kauai?
one. Yeah.
Oh,
Hawaii,
that's right,
yeah.
yeah. Because it
Are-
took place in Hawaii.
The two of you were cut out of the theatrical Brady Bunch movie. Are those appearances on a special edition? Are they on a DVD?
No, because then they'd have to pay us.
What about the Mr. Brady Goes to Washington? Could that have been done here in Canada? That could have been done here.
Yes.
And was that in the 2000s? Because I honestly, I don't know
Yeah, I
anything
think
about
it-
this.
I think it was right at
I do
2000.
know a little bit about the production teams, and that's why it didn't cross my radar. Right? Was that done in the
Yeah,
2000s?
I think it might have
So
been.
that could have been. Mr. Brady Goes to Washington.
Because
Forget it.
I know Gary Cole's wife, and she told me he's got a 3-picture deal, so there's going to be a third one. And she goes, I think it's going to go straight to TV.
Oh, that explains it all.
Yeah. The Gary Cole
My
thing.
name's Brenda. You had a lot of great guest stars on your show, like famous people like Joe Damon and Davy Jones, but you also had like character actors like Jackie Coogan and E.G. Marshall, and people before they were famous like Melissa Sue Anderson and Rita Wilson. Yeah.
And who sold you the car?
Somebody.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
those 3 name guys.
Um,
Who sold Greg that clunker car?
Greg tried to sell it to him.
That was one of his.
somebody.
That was one of his first roles.
Jeffrey
like,
Michael Smith.
ever.
Who was your favorite guest star in the originals?
I can tell you this wasn't Davy Jones. That guy's hitting on my sister like punch him, Mick putting the moves on her.
I had a special affection for Imogene Coca
Yeah.
because she was so shy and soft-spoken. And then as soon as the camera would go on, she came to life. And then she'd go back to her little shell. And she sent us all Christmas cards that year.
Charlie Martin Smith.
There you go, Charlie Martin Smith. Jim Backus was fun. I'd have to say
Jim Backus was
probably yeah. He was the prospector in the Grand Canyon, and he was Mike's boss when I played pool with him.
Schaefer was on it.
Yes.
Natalie Schaefer.
Susan had to dress up like
Yeah.
I'd say Joe Namath. Joe Namath would be mine. It was like church when he was on set. People were just they were reverent.
And still a friend. I mean,
you know what?
he knows us all, asked about us all the time,
Yeah.
recognizes us when we see him.
I forgot. I do have a favorite. It was legendary Hal Smith, who played Otis the Drunk on Andy Griffith, and he also played Santa. And I really, really loved him. I did a Disney movie with him, and then he came back as the Cartoon King on Bobby's episode.
All the way in the back, sir.
Do you guys remember hearing a parody of the Brady Bunch theme song by Weird Al Yankovic in 1985? It was sung to the tune of "Then Safety Dance" by Men Without Hats. One of the lyrics is, "I realize I've been good. Please don't do this to me. Please don't make me watch the Brady Bunch."
Yeah, there was a Weird Al Yankovic Brady Bunch parody song in the 80s. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that, but Florence Henderson was in his parody of
Gangster's Paradise.
Gangster's Paradise. Yeah, it was Amish Paradise, and she played an Amish.
I remember in the Addams Family, the first movie, little Wendy was punished. She'd done something wrong. She was punished, and she was forced to watch reruns of the Brady Bunch.
I don't recall your specific one that you asked about, but you guys know that the cultural references in media and in television just basically never end.
No, Michael.
Yeah, right.
It's always Michael.
We got to do one more, and they're telling me that they got to wrap it up.
Just a quick one, just a quick reference working with either Florence Henderson or Robert Reed.
What was it like working with Florence Henderson and Robert Reed?
Very, very dear friends forever. Miss them, love them, mentors, learned. Great role
me
models.
too.
And I think it's clear that all of you, throughout your lives, you all remain close, don't you? You all remain very close to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remarkable. But I know we're going to wrap up soon. I just want to say we're going to be here, most of us, for at least another few hours. I'll be here till the end of the day. What we're doing over there is you know, there are pictures and there are things and we have signatures. It's really about connection. It's really about sharing a memory. It's being a part of what this legacy is, saying hello. If you have questions that we didn't get to today, personal ones, please do stop by. You know, it's not so intense there that we can't take a few minutes and answer questions, and we'd love to have you come by as well.
And that's really wonderful. A lot of people know if you come to these conventions a lot of times people don't do that. They don't want to stop and answer questions. They want to keep it going. And so that, I think that means a lot to everybody here.
It's
that you
kind of
guys
the whole
do that.
reason I come here. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, we needed to come here, and I told everybody in my line, I prefer if you left and came back, because otherwise I'm going to have to rush through you, and I can't talk to you. And that is why we're here. You know, this is our extended family.
Can we have a round of applause for the Brady Bunch, please? Harry Williams, Mike Lookinland, Susan Olsen. Thank you very much.